All right, it is another great installment of Younger Life Live, here with, of course, Rick Federici.
Mary Anthony.
And today, Mary Anthony, we have in studio with us our executive producer, who I think is kicking our butts on getting healthy.
Absolutely.
And staying younger longer. Hi, Ryan Beth.
Hello.
How are you? You doing good?
Right. I'm doing good.
Look at, he's all dressed up. Guys,
know,
we're all
you guys are
dressed
all-
up in ties.
that's it.
Do you
You're
like
all
these ties?
handsome today.
I got my Jerry Garcia on. I have the Jerry Garcia collection.
Oh, how cool.
Before Jerry died years ago. It's actually been like over 20 years.
Yeah, I think it has.
I think it was 94-ish. It's been like 22.
Seems about right.
Yeah. I was collecting Jerry ties and I never wore them, so I kept
Really?
them in their things. And then I started framing them with, Grateful Dead stuff. And then
Really?
I started wearing them like about 3 or 4 years into it.
Yeah.
So I probably
Yeah.
got about 40 or 50 ties.
Wow.
Which I absolutely love. So,
Oh.
hey, it's great to be here. How you
It
doing
is
there,
good to
Mary
be here.
Anthony?
I'm doing great. Thanks. It's good to be here. It's good. I love today. We're just talking about trying new things. It's kind of laid back and I like that. It's nice. I'm ready.
All right, so you're ready for this. I'm ready for that. I want to talk to you a little bit later, and I know that we chatted about the muffins
Oh,
and
yeah,
about
see,
the
trying new
omelets.
things.
See? We'll talk about that. Coming up, you're smiling. So is
Yeah.
that good?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was. It was
Okay.
a mess. I mean, the kids. Just
The
a mess.
kids made a mess. Does that mean that mom cleaned up, or was it dad, mom, and the kids cleaning
Oh,
up?
everybody helped, but you know what? We did it for dinner instead of lunch. Because,
Yeah.
we're kind of, a little spontaneous. We decided to say, forget it, let's go out for lunch and let's
Yeah.
go bowling. Then we went bowling.
Oh, that was good.
So it was fun. It was
Yeah.
a nice day. No school yesterday being President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one of my nieces and one of my nephews with me. So we had 2 cars and we went.
You never get a break, do you?
You know what? It was fun. It's just tiring. So by the time we got home,
She's
we
tired.
do dinner. And yeah, we do dinner. And we did make the muffins last night, the vegan muffins from Chef Melody. And they were good. Just, all the kids want to help. And, it's
Everybody's got their
by
hands
that time
in it.
of
They're
night, I
running.
want to just go, just let me do it. But, whatever. It was fun and it was fine. They actually turned out, they were very good. They smelled really good. And I thought, okay, little skeptical.
Thanks for
vegan
making me hungry.
kind of thing. Yeah, they were good. So.
Did you eat this morning, Ryan Beth?
I did eat. I had.
What'd you have?
I had some Greek yogurt and a banana.
Greek yogurt and a banana. I'm going to go to Mary Anthony. Mary Anthony.
I had Canadian, we had Canadian bacon this
Yeah,
morning.
sounds
The
good.
kids had pancakes and Canadian bacon and yogurt, and I had 2 pieces of Canadian bacon running out the door.
Okay.
It was still something, and I love it. So.
I had the straight out oatmeal.
Oh, yeah.
The
you're-
rolled oats. I cut up a half a banana. I left half a banana for my wife. I drizzled it in honey, and I put cinnamon in it. Ooh,
Nice.
it was heaven on earth.
Very good.
I
Very
scarfed
good and
it.
healthy for you.
I
That's
scarfed
good.
it. I gave 1 spoonful to the dog before I left, right in his bowl.
Oh, how funny.
And the funny
Yeah.
thing about the dogs, the crazy thing about the dogs, is that they eat perfectly around their little niblets that they eat, like his dog food. And he's
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
Do you have a dog or a cat?
We don't Brittany and I don't have a dog or a cat right now.
Mm-hmm.
We want one, but like my parents have 2 standard poodles, and one of them's got like severe allergies, so all he has to eat is like hamburger and rice.
Wow.
really?
Do you have animals on your
We
side?
do. We have 2 little weenie dogs at home, 2 dachshunds, and one is old and heavy because he eats way too much.
Does he have the belly that
And
drags on the
said-
ground?
It's not on the ground, but you know
Yeah.
what? He's like a little barrel. He is. He's a little barrel.
A little barrel.
But he's very active. I always tell the vet, hey, I get it. I know we probably feed him too many treats, so we try to give him peas and carrots because he does love those.
When
believe it
you
or
say
not.
too many treats there, young Mary Anthony, what do you mean? Do you mean just actual people food?
Yeah, both. and
I
dog
knew
treats.
she was going to say
Oh,
that's
both.
me.
Both. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's a little bit of everything. But I always tell the vet, dogs are like people. They come in different shapes and sizes. He's active. He's happy. I'm not going to.
We go for walks. Get off my back.
We do try to back it up. I tell
Mm-hmm.
the kids, don't give him your crust. Instead, let him have a carrot. And he's fine with that. He
Okay.
loves it. So
Well, I think
he's
you're just-
still a little.
I think you're just trying to find healthy things today.
Oh,
so
no.
here's what I give my
Yeah.
dog. I'll give him a little spoonful
Yeah.
of oatmeal. But like, for example, they say that eggs are great for the coats on dogs.
Yeah, they do say that.
So I'll
I
make
know.
scrambled eggs. And I'll put cheese and a little onion and whatever in it,
Yeah.
some peppers, and the dog will munch it.
Oh yeah,
Munch
my
it.
dogs eat plenty of scraps because they know to sit under the chairs of my youngest. So
Wow.
they're very smart.
Yeah.
They
Nice.
always get a little bite of whatever we're eating. But this morning, our littlest one, she's a female. She just had gotten fixed last week. We just had her spayed. So
She feeling okay?
yeah, but I still give her a pain pill in the morning. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like, I had C-sections. I know what she. I look at her little.
I had one
her little
too,
stomach
Ryan.
and think I know
No.
what she's feeling. So I made sure she has her pain medicine. So this morning
Oh.
I pulled the little bit of Canadian bacon off, and I could never give her something, even with her pain pill, and not Finley, our boy. So he got some.
How, does your dog eat the vitamins, or dogs eat their vitamins or whatever with anything, or do you give them straight ahead the pills?
They're fine with pills. You know what I like to do though? I'll put a little tiny bit of peanut butter
That's
on my
what we
finger.
do.
They love it. And you
Yeah.
know, the vet actually had recommended that one time when a different dog that we had been fixed and needed pain pills. He said, you know, put it in a little bit of peanut butter. It works great for the, you know, their heartworm medicine, stuff like that. I know they're supposed to be flavored, but you know, who doesn't like a little sweet treat? And obviously my dogs do. So
Sweet treats it is. Ooh, does that sound good right now? We're going to talk about how music a little bit later on the show, back end of the show with Joan Davis. We all know her and love her from Roxy Music, but they do some stuff with our great partners over at IU Health. But the focus not only is the music, but maybe you're in that 20-something range to the wisest of years, and I don't care if you're 80 plus, and you want to jump back into music.
right.
That the music itself will keep you younger longer, and getting back into that and trying new things. So we're gonna chat about that. We're gonna talk about ways of making a difference with her coming up a little bit later on
Absolutely. You know, just trying new things in general. There's so many studies, but there was a really cool website I had gotten on that was a research paper that had been written on 18 benefits of playing music and listening to music even. So for any age, but you know, just the trying new things I think is key. And I think we're all doing that this year, trying to do a few new things, you know, to better ourselves. And I think that Ryan, you guys have really been kicking butt at it. You and
Wow.
Brittany, right?
Yeah.
Look at how good he looks.
I
He's got that
know.
sweater.
Well, I mean, you guys are already all
Yeah.
dressed up today, you know, already all handsome. So tell us, though, what you and Brittany have been doing.
Well, what we've really been doing is we really have been trying to eat a lot healthier, and we've been religiously going to the gym, trying to at least trying to every day, usually going about every other day. But when we go, we try to spend at least an hour and a half there.
Wow,
That's
that's
a
a
long
long time.
So yeah, I mean, it was difficult at first. I mean, I struggled to do, you know, even 20 minutes riding the bike, just because it had been a long time since I had really started working out. And now that I'm back at it, I'm going an hour, and I feel like I could go another hour.
Wow.
But the machine will only let me do 1 hour before it makes me cool down.
Let me throw this out there to you. Recently, as you both know, in the early fall, I had to stop because I was riding my bike outside
Yeah.
with Norma. I got Norma involved. So I did the Tour de Laporte, and I just, trained for a couple weeks, and I really saw a great improvement for myself personally. And I really started getting into it. Well, you know how dorky I was. I was jonesing. It was like a drug for me, but my drug of choice was riding the bike.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what you're going to see with Jeremy. And I know you've got your children, but oh my gosh, Norma and I would go out there. I was doing it first, and then Norma came with me. But the thing I find is exactly what you said. I recently, in the last week, jumped back on that bike, even yesterday again. My gosh. And it's different because I'm doing it inside with a
Yeah,
trainer.
it's
And the
definitely
trainer's
different.
phenomenal. And I'm so appreciative of Patrick and Trina and Todd over at the bike stop off of Route 20 in Michigan City, who have given me insight to how to do things. But wow, there's no wind in your face. There's no
Yeah.
fan in your face. I'm wearing the proper clothing, but I've gone so far, and this is where it gets scary when my daughters come downstairs and say, oh, put the shirt back on. Because it's
That's
the little
funny.
chest with nothing, and then it's the
That's
little Buddha.
funny.
It's like, whoop,
That is
with the tight
funny.
shorts on. But I have to tell you, you are absolutely dead on, Ryan. I literally went, I think maybe 15, 20 minutes the first day, and I was pooped. Went
Yeah.
easily 20 minutes on a bike outside, rocket. I'm doing miles.
It's just different.
It's
I mean,
a
it
different
certainly
animal.
is different inside than out. Any kind of exercise you're doing. The treadmill, I've always found that to be true. Trying to walk on a treadmill, no matter where it is, whether it's in the gym location, which I've done, or at home, I don't find that it's as rewarding for me as being outside. I think you're just more distracted. It's, you connect to nature. It's just very different, I think. But still necessary when you're not able to get outside. I often think I wish I had a treadmill at home. It would be nice, but at the same time, or the bike and
Really?
the trainer would be. But I
We
think
could
that I
get you
wouldn't
one.
use. I don't think that I would use it like I should, only because I would definitely prefer to be outside, especially days like I know it's still cold out.
Although it's
but,
pretty
But
today.
you know,
It is.
well, with no wind, like yesterday morning specifically, leaving it was beautiful out. I mean, the roads were still yucky, you know, but there was no wind for the first time in a couple days, and it was so still. And I thought, ooh, now this you could walk in. I mean, you're not going to get out and run when it's. I know people do it. I myself am not fit enough at my most fit to get out and run in the snow, but it would still be. It's just been so nice that I think I would much rather be outside anytime. But you know, willing to try it.
Well, for like the weather that it is right now, like this weather would be perfect for going cross country skiing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh,
I wish
yeah.
that I had
Absolutely.
cross country skis, but like even when I'm in the gym, what I'll do is I will actually be distracting myself because I'm a huge sports fan.
Yeah.
I'll try to find the TV that's in front of whatever bike I'm going to be on, and I'll watch like the Blackhawks game, or I'll watch basketball, any sort of game
Just
that's
to
on.
keep going, you mean?
It'll distract me because otherwise, even if I just have music on, I'll be watching the time. But if I'm not watching the time, then I find that being distracted, I go for longer periods of time and I keep the same pace.
Yeah, that's nice.
So-
that is a perk to being inside, I guess. You know, marathon TV show, something
Yeah.
that you love.
Well, you know what I
You
what
gotta
I
go.
have found myself doing, and you were talking about treadmill and things like that. My wife loves the elliptical. The
Yeah.
treadmill is the straight ahead. You could make it go up on an angle, and even the older versions where you're just walking. And
Yeah.
to me, it's like, okay, you got to have the right shoes,
Mm.
you got to have the right gear. But the elliptical, my gosh, you're cranking it and you're doing it. And my wife and my daughters are so unbelievable at it. I feel like a wimp when I'm next
Really?
to these guys. No,
Do you
I
get
really
on
do
it?
because I have gotten on it. I have to be honest with you. I would rather bike any day, but even better, and this sounds weird maybe to some people, I would almost rather walk on the treadmill because I could do exactly what I can't tell you how many meetings I've had in past where I'm just walking.
Yeah.
And I'm literally, I'm focusing on something that's up there and I'm
Yeah.
actually walking right now and I'm having a conversation. I'm like, going over production news. I'm on a conference call and I'm
Right,
literally,
right.
I'm like double and triple dipping.
Yeah, I mean, Brittany does,
Seriously.
like Brittany does the elliptical too, and I mean, we'll both go for the same period of time for that hour. But I get on the elliptical, and I mean, I've got old injuries that I had from when I played sports,
Yeah.
especially when I played football, and it ends up just like it's supposed to be like low resistance, but it still hurts my hip.
Yeah.
So that's why
That's a good
I
point.
stick with the bike. I mean, I've found what works for me.
That's it. It's different for
And
everyone.
It really is. I mean, you can't say that, the bike is, far superior than the elliptical and the treadmill. No, it's what works for you.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to try new things, really. Like we're
Exactly.
talking about. My mom just had a birthday, and she wanted an elliptical, so that's what we went in with my sister's family to get her an elliptical.
What a great
And,
gift.
she said, well, she really wanted it. She told us, this is really what I want. So we did. And she said, I'm going to start out slow, 20 minutes a day. Well, she called the other day and she laughed and she said, okay, like 5 minutes in, you can tell that, it's winter. You've not been out 6. My
Absolutely.
my mom's very active. So she said, you can tell I've not been as active. I mean, I was huffing and puffing 5 minutes in. She said, that's enough. And she said, too, how you said your hip. She said she feels it in the knees, which it is
Yeah.
supposed to be low resistance, but
See, that's
low
what
impact
freaks me
kind of
out about the runners that run outside on the cement. I know proper gear is critical to success and the key, but man, I was always afraid, and I know a lot of my friends that were in track and ran for years. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, but now all of a sudden they're like switching. They're going, okay, I can't run anymore.
Yeah,
So what
definitely
can I do? And
different.
it's funny you bring up the biking thing because that is something to me that I have been doing since I've been a little boy, but the art of cycling right now
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm all about. I don't care about I'm not competitive, so I don't care about, competing to make it an X time. I just enjoy it.
Aren't
I
you
just
competitive
think
in your to yourself though? I think I'm
Absolutely.
more competitive to myself or my husband or you know what I mean, like the kids. It's all in good fun.
You're gonna push that
But
button
it
with
does-
Jeremy?
Oh, please! We're very competitive about everything. It's just fun. I think that adds a whole another level to the fun. So we're all definitely all about trying new things, and it's amazing though that the trying of new things is so good for you. Not just it just adds so much to your life. It's good for your brain. Like, these studies show why it's so good for your brain. It stimulates different parts.
Sure.
It keeps boredom at bay, which also helps with keeping depression at bay. Some things we talked about when we had Katie Sarver in with wellness. Remember we were discussing winter blues. You know, I mean, that can happen any time of year, but certainly this time of year, try something new. That's why the music instrument stuff is so interesting later today.
I can't wait to talk
You know,
to Joan about
now
this.
I am not musical. I love music. I love to listen to music, all kinds of music, but certainly can't play any, you know. But
Maybe
still,
we should try it.
But see, that's just it. It's still fun to try. Like I said, the piano, you know, I always wanted to learn, never did. We got a piano, an old crappy one that we redid, and we've never had it tuned intentionally because we let the kids play on it. I don't ever want to go, don't touch the piano.
Muffy, please don't hit the
We already had
key.
it tuned. Who cares? We do not know well enough to know that it's not in tune because we just play for fun. And the kids, you know, we hear a song and the kids like the tune. You know, it's funny. You can look almost anything up and it will show you or give you at least an idea for the basic melodies. So, you know that Rihanna song a year or two ago, Stay. My kids, they can play it. You know, like they can
But
play
you
the
wanna
beat.
know what?
It's really good.
That might be something, just so you know, because when I was a young kid, and even to this day, I self-taught. They call it learning by ear, being able to
learning
play.
by ear.
I can't tell you how many times I did that, and I never took lessons ever in my life. But today's technology with these young millennials, you guys, you could literally type it, Google the song and say Ed Sheeran thinking out loud, and it'll bring up the tabs, the chords, and everything.
It's crazy.
And it is crazy. So for me personally, like I used to play along with, and this really dates me, like albums, you know, and then albums turned to, you know, well, there was 8 tracks first, and then there was albums, then there was cassettes, and then, you know, then the CDs, and now it's like files. But I got to tell you, to play it and then just be able to jam it, then I would learn the rhythm side of it and play along with it. And then I played everything. You know, once you learn how to play guitar, you could play the bass pretty much.
Yeah.
You know? You've got to try it, man. I'd love to see
it
you
would
do
be
the
fun.
piano.
Again, I'm always willing to try new things. I have to giggle when you talk about, you know, the process things have gone. Speaking about a tape player, well, there was a vehicle my husband's that had a tape player in it, and my daughter Fallon, she said, "What in the world is that?" We said, "It's a tape player. We
What's
get all
a tape
kinds
player,
of tapes."
Mom?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You really
That's
feel
how we
old.
had. I know, it's just funny to say. Oh, I remember. You know, my best friend and I, we would try to learn the words. You couldn't just go back. You had to stop, rewind, play. You know what I mean? There was no stop, rewind, play. You know, just for that one song. There was no just skip to number 9. No.
No.
You
Do you
get just
ever-
right.
Do you
Yeah, it's
ever
so funny.
think that in our lifetime that the cassettes will come back? Because those were horrible. Once those things just
No,
get eaten up.
I don't.
Can I tell you,
Oh,
as you
yeah.
guys know, we're packing to move. I stopped counting the other day. You're going to laugh. This does not include the Rick Federici catalog of air checks, where I have trunks of stuff from LS Loop, you know, all these days in Chicago radio. I kept everything. But I literally have hundreds. I think I stopped counting at like 500 and something, just cassettes. So imagine it's all in line deep in these barrels, and it's all like everything from Genesis to China Crisis to the
are
psychedelic
you gonna
first
keep
or
'em?
rock and metal, jazz. Well, I don't want to
It's
throw
so
them
hard
away.
to throw 'em away.
Like, what am I going to do? We need, you know what we need to do? We need to get some interns here. Speaking of staying younger longer,
Right.
here's what your gig is. You're going to stay up all night and you're going to dub all these cassettes.
Yeah.
And then my daughter would say to me, "Dad, all you got to do is use Spotify and you could just, you know, Google it, you know, or do whatever and bring it up." And man, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
The
I mean, it's really
technology of
neat.
today.
Right. That's another good example of learning something new. You just to tackle the new technology, these new things. A lot of times I think my kids, they can learn them and know them so quickly, even at their young age. And I think it's because they're so familiar with it. Where myself, I'm more afraid I'm going to ruin something. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's harder to ruin things than it used to be. You know, you used to go ahead and click off something and it's lost forever. And now it's so
Retrieve.
it's just yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. I think that they're much better at it, and it's very good for you. So, you know, any of the broadening of your horizons, I would certainly try a musical instrument. Nobody would want to hear it, but I would try it.
You
It's
know what?
fun.
It's good for the soul. It's good. It
is.
would keep you younger. Because I'm telling you, here's a smile. Do you play an instrument?
I do. I play brass.
Okay, and explain.
I play trumpet. I can play baritone, trombone, pretty much any of the horns, really.
Really.
Wow.
Tuba, sousaphone.
neat.
Give me the sousaphone that goes like around my body.
That's
Wow.
funny. That would be a funny picture. I mean, just all these different horns. That's funny. I know. My children, a couple of them have done band in school. But, they're very athletic, so they eventually say, okay, nope, forget it. But, they liked it while they did it. Nobody likes to practice. I think that's the thing no one likes to talk about. This school encourages we go to a smaller school, so our band's not enormous, but they're very good, and they encourage kids to join the band. Well, then what they forget to say is you still have to practice. You have to document the practicing. So that's when my kids kind of lose interest.
But here's
mean?
the key to success in an instrument. Once you learn how to play a tune or a track or a song, that it opens you up and you smile ear to ear. The energy's positive. All of a
Yeah.
sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I could play the G, C, and D chord together. And by the way, oh my gosh, that's Mellencamp. Or
Yeah,
you all of a
yeah.
sudden you're figuring out, oh my gosh, that's Dust in the Wind.
Yeah,
or-
it's neat.
Although it'd be
I
like
mean,
picking.
It is neat. Jeremy always wanted to learn to play guitar. So when he turned 30, and this has been quite a while ago.
How could that be? You
Quite a
guys aren't
few
even
years
30.
ago.
Get out of here.
Anyways, we got him a guitar, and so it's funny. He right away he's like, I'm gonna practice this every day, and I got him the whole like how to play book and DVD.
Was it a Mel Bay book?
He doesn't. I don't even.
Mel
he
Bay's
doesn't even
guitar
do it.
book. How to learn.
He doesn't even do it. He does pick at it sometimes, and it's funny. He'll just pick it up and try to make up a melody. The kids love it. They're like, let me try. It can take him all day long to like pick at it and go, hey, listen to this, and they could just get it. They're good at it, and I love it. And I think it is the key. The younger they are, the quicker, the more
yeah.
open to it I think they are. Where I'm much more like, I'll pick it up and say, no, I need to know exactly where do my hands need to be and what do I need to do.
Do
first.
I need to
I'm
cut
too
my
methodical.
fingernails? I've got calluses.
I think I'm just too methodical and not in, like our guest yesterday with the Show Us Your Heart, Abby Combs did the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm too methodical. She just feels it and does it. And I think I'm much more, I'm too brain, not artsy when it comes to that stuff. I want steps. I want you to tell me what to do and I'll do it. But I am not going to go, crazy on my own.
Speaking of which, let's have Ted, who's working it. Since Ryan's here and is executive producer, let's pull up some of the stuff from Abby here with, of course, Younger
yeah.
Life Live. You're looking at it right now. So thanks to Ted, who's hanging out as executive producer
Yeah,
today. Let's chat
absolutely.
about this particular piece of art that we have up here on the screen. Why don't you chat about the stenciled side of it, and let's talk about the big event that's coming up tomorrow.
It's tomorrow night,
Yeah,
right? And I'm
yeah.
really excited. I'm going to be ditching out one of the kids early. I'm going to leave a little early from a basketball game so I can make it. It's just Abby, who is a sophomore. She's 15. She said created this artwork for her mother, who works at the hospital, and it was seen and commented on by so many people that it actually sparked the idea was born to have this Show Us Your Heart event, which allowed local artists, which Nancy Blossom yesterday said 60 to 80 people entered their artwork. Again, it can be at any level. It doesn't have to be as extensive as Abby's is. And they submitted and they're doing a little art show. Going to have, again, speaking of music, they're going to have music and snacks and a whole thing going on tomorrow to draw. It's Heart Health Awareness Month, so we've tried to certainly focus on that most of the month, and so this tomorrow should be a good thing. People get to vote on which ones they like, and they're going to.
Are you going to try to get over there?
I definitely am. I'm going to leave one of the basketball games early tomorrow, and
Wow.
the kids already know. I already told them. I already said, hey, I'm going to. Now they have right now. There are at least. We have 4 games this week alone. So,
Holy
I mean,
cow.
it's just every day.
Is that one child
No,
or is that multiple children?
That's multiple children.
Wow.
It's a lot.
And it's a lot of games. And, that's really what we do. Like, every day, it's the norm. So, I said, I'm going to leave the games early, just so you know. And Dad will be there, and everybody else will go home with Dad. But I'm going to go. I really want to go to the art
that'd be
exhibit.
really wonderful.
It's just a really cool event. I think it's it brings awareness in a different way. Not everything has to be the scary statistics. I mean, how many times have we said on the show, 610,000 people die every year, men and women, of heart disease, heart attacks actually, but heart disease related stuff. Every 43 seconds, someone has a heart attack. I mean, that is scary business. And it's important, it's staggering, But it's sometimes these events like tomorrow's event, the Show Us Your Heart, it's the lighter side of, drawing attention to it, but it's still in a fun environment. And I think I really want to be there for that. So
I'm going to throw this out there. Anybody that's viewing or listening right now and you want to get, there's stress balls out there. We all know those stress balls where you grab 'em.
Yeah.
We have stress hearts.
That's right. I saw them. Yeah.
And so what I think I'm going to do is, in fact, I'm going to run and get a stress heart.
Okay,
real
do
quick.
it.
So here's what I'm going to do. Ted, pull up the camera shot. There you go. Right there. Okay. So you're going to see Rick Federicki running while I'm going to run behind.
Buddy, you
while
go
I'm
right
gonna
behind
run.
Ryan.
You guys bond for a minute, but I want to talk about, because let's give away to anybody that wants us out there. Just remember Rick, R-I-C, no Richard, no K, no Dick, at WIMSradio.com. We're going to give you stress hearts and healthy cookbooks. I'm going to go grab them right now.
Good idea. I love it. I do. Speaking of healthy cookbook, okay? Yeah, we were discussing the muffins, you know, from Chef Melody. They were vegan. I did not tell my children they were different.
That's always the best.
Yeah, they didn't know. So they knew we were going to make blueberry muffins. And actually, one of my daughters kept saying, "Are you going to make those muffins today for sure? Are we definitely going to make those muffins?" And so they loved it. My niece and nephew helped too that were there. Like I said, everybody kind of helped out. But, I had all the ingredients. Like I said, I had done that the other day, over the weekend. And I was afraid they would be difficult to find, but they weren't. It was fine, no big deal. But we made them. I didn't tell the kids they were any different, just that I wanted to try this recipe because we'd had this chef on. That's all they really knew. So
Well, it's always the best to, tell people that might not be as willing to try new things.
Yeah, I
to
didn't
say
want
that
them to
they're
come
not
into
different.
it with an opinion already. They just know they love blueberry muffins. Okay, so we did make them, and they were very good. And I still didn't tell them they were vegan until only my oldest knew. She said, "So what? Why are these so different?" That's what she said. I said, "Well, they're just made differently." She said, "Well, I mean, they don't taste different. They're very good."
Yeah.
She just said, "Why these specific blueberry muffins?" I said, "Because they were vegan." She said, "Really? She said, can I have another one?" "Yeah, go ahead. They were good." "Why not? They're good for you. Have one for breakfast."
Mom?
No, I'm kidding. They were.
Were they good?
It was.
Did it taste like? Did you get the blueberry out of it? Did you have the muffin top? Because they sell tops. Instead of did you ever see that?
No.
Oh,
Like
and a lot
that
of these
crumb
coffee
thing?
shops,
Yeah,
they
they
don't do
do.
the bottoms. They just sell the tops, and they're big bucks. And people just like munch on them.
It wasn't as crummy as like a top. That's probably baker error, not recipe.
Are you blaming
know what I
yourself
mean?
for that, kid?
Oh, certainly. I'm definitely not a baker by any means. I should have had one of these with all that mess going on it.
Look, I'm putting it right up to the camera.
Yeah.
These are stress hearts. Ryan, you've got your camera.
Yep.
And you've got your camera there, young lady. Mary Anthony, Rick Federicki, Ryan, Beth. Here we go. Beth.
do I need a mince?
Halitosis. What's halitosis, Mama? It's bad breath.
That's funny.
Younger Life. These are not stress balls. These are stress hearts. All right, so here's what we're going to give away. We're going to give you a Younger Life stress heart. I like these.
They're very cool.
I love these. Okay, so you got that. Now look, I didn't realize what these were, and I only have a few of these, but I'll put a package together. These are medicine bottle openers. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to pull it right up to the camera. See, I'm putting it right up to the camera. All right. So these go on the medicine bottles, and then you open them up. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, check that
Yeah.
out.
That's
cool.
nice.
Okay.
Especially
Now,
for someone that may have arthritis and stuff.
I'm going to give that to you. You describe what we've got there. Flip it to the camera.
Okay, this is a card on a sofa workout. Now you want to talk
Here
about
we go.
taking the first step. Okay, we don't have to talk about going as far as you have, Ryan. Bravo. Go to the gym every day. If you really know you haven't done anything, physical activity for your own self, start slow. Look at this. This is just a little card that gives different exercises
Right.
that you can start simply based on the couch. I mean,
It's
using
really
the
cool.
couch.
I like this.
That's fantastic. I mean, this is a great first step.
Ryan is thinking in his head, these guys are like really lazy.
No,
but no,
but you
this
know-
is
these
the
are
first
actually
step.
these are actually really good.
Right.
I mean,
This is a great way to get you started without, without the intimidation of going, say, joining a class. That's scary. You never know. You join an aerobics class. You don't know if you're going to get, pretty basic, or if you're going to go in there and have like people that know the whole routine and
Right.
got it down. You know what I mean? You never know what you're going to get. At least this
Can I
gives
tell you
you
this?
a good way to start.
It says repeat 3 times up to 2 minutes rest between sets. Now think about this, all of us here. If you're sitting there with your family, let's say you've got
Right.
some young ones and your significant other, your spouse, whoever it is, and you're doing 20 half squats. So, I'm doing squats. There's 20. Okay, you're watching. I could do that. 10 sofa dips. So they're showing you, and obviously YoungerLife.org/live. We're kind of playing around with the cameras here. But 10 sofa dips. I'm
for
telling
the
you,
old
one is
tricep.
hard for me.
Those are actually really good, like a really good workout for like the triceps,
Yeah.
especially. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen people in the gym do that all the time. Like they'll even like set like weights like on their
Oh, yeah.
lap.
Now
And
they
I mean,
have
it's a great
20,
workout.
20 climbers. What's that? Is that like you're
It's
climbing
like
a ladder?
No, you really actually, you know what a mountain climber is in gym class?
Oh, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why I know that, what it is. So they've got their hands on the sofa cushion, and then you're moving your legs like you'd be climbing up something, but you're really not. You know what I mean? It's more
Wow.
like a
That's kind of cool.
you
So
like
wait,
at a lunge
hold
kind
on.
of.
I'm here.
You know, if
You're
you were
going
down.
this?
Well, it's more like.
She's laughing at me. Oh, I got it.
You see
Okay.
what I mean?
She's
Like,
jumping up and down over here.
Kind of like a jump. I know, it's funny. It's kind of like your legs are jumping. That's what a mountain climber in school is. So I'm assuming that would be the same.
What's this 10 side to side sofa walks? Do you know what that is? 10 side to side
I'm not sure what that would be.
sofa walks.
Is that
You
just
got it.
like maybe you're doing the electric slide?
Yeah, right. Or how
I mean,
about,
really,
or how you got to
maybe.
kick open side to side.
No, let's start make up our
you
own
don't
line
even know what that
dance.
is. That's
I have no clue.
That is old. If you remember the old TV show, there was the Electric Company, there was Sesame Street. This goes back to PBS days, like when I was a little boy. But that was Zoom, the show
love
called Zoom.
PBS.
Come on and zoom, zoom, zoom on Zoom.
Well, hey, that got you moving. Look at that.
Look at that. 10 side to side sofa walks, 10 leg raises. That's hard, but that's
That's
good
rough.
for the gut. For us guys.
Leg
gals.
lifts are always difficult. I mean, on the sofa they might not be as hard, but like
You're still
It's still
using those
difficult,
muscles. I mean,
yeah.
you're still engaging the core. I think that's
How about
that's
how
the
about the
point.
10 raised leg circles?
That's rough. You know why? That borders Pilates. I'll tell you, there's a couple, gosh, I'm telling you, it seems so simple in theory, but I mean, I've not tried these specific, but the leg circles like with Pilates, oh, I feel like a wimp, but I end up, depends how many they do, I have to stop. It's like, oh, that's enough because it does engage that core so hard. It's so good. But again, it's a great way to take a first step, do something different, even at home on your couch. So see, you did it. You get up and
Okay.
do that,
Check this out. Younger
Let's see.
Life Wear. Check this out.
Oh, this is
Rick,
cool. It's
Ricky,
a
Mary
magnet.
Anthony, Ryan, Beth. We're going to throw this out there. Not only I'm going to send you the sofa workout card, a little Younger Life heart from all of us, but look at this healthy eating plate. Let's talk about this plate because this is truly the way that they say to break up a plate
Yeah.
to eat healthier. And we're just throwing these things out there to try something new. But I'm going to throw mine up into the camera right by me.
You know
if
what's
can
cool?
see it.
I like it's a magnet.
See?
yeah, that is nice.
It's easy to stick that
She's
on your
really
refrigerator,
cool.
kind of just as a reminder,
It says choose healthy oils like olive and canola oils for cooking and on salads. I think a lot of us do that. Am I right on this room?
You know what I just had with one of the recipes that we
What?
tried with the reflux?
Okay.
Remember when we had
Yeah,
Dr.
that was a
Kaufman
great
on?
show, man.
Well, in her cookbook, a lot of the oils are grapeseed oil, which I know sounds weird, and I kept thinking,
Did you
I
say
don't
grape
eat
seed?
grapeseed oil. It's supposed to be it's not as thick of an oil, and it's supposed to have like no taste or anything.
Sure.
Just supposed to be a healthier option, which was just strange because I thought I'd have never even seen it. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I found it at Walmart. Believe it or not, you know what I mean. So it wasn't like I was
Did
at a
you
health
try it
food
yet, or
store.
have you not used it yet?
I used it in those kick-ass carrot cookies we made. That's,
and that's,
what it.
by the way, folks, that's what it's called. Kick-ass.
It is. That's what it's called. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
She's not swearing
I'm
on
not
the air.
swearing on I'm not swearing on live
Right?
radio. I'm just that's the title of them, and that's the oil that was used. So, I mean, olive oil. I'm big on. I like olive oil.
And
I don't even use vegetable oil and stuff.
We could stick up for you. You did make those cookies, and
Yeah.
we both ate them. In fact,
Yeah.
I will, for the record, I'm going to be honest. I was the proper and respectful young man here, and I had one. Ryan had the rest of them.
They were good.
They were good. I mean,
They were
I
good.
only had like 2 or 3.
He was
but,
standing
you
in
know.
line.
I only brought like 6 with us.
I was the line, I think.
It's funny, you know what? I didn't tell my kids those were super healthy either.
Right.
And I just said, one of my daughters said, "You made cookies?" Because I made them like late at night when they were already
Sure.
in bed. And I said, "Yeah, can I have one?" Yeah. So before school, after breakfast, they had one, and I thought, "There's it's probably just as many healthy vitamins in that than there was breakfast. You know what I mean? That
Sure.
They were very good. And one of my daughters, Naya, she said, "This is so good. Can I take another one?" Yeah.
Go
ahead.
for it. Well, one of the other things
They're
at
very
night,
small,
if
too.
your child or children or even yourselves, you like ice cream, I have come to know and love, and I'm all about this because I try not to eat after a specific time
Yeah.
from when I go to bed. So let's say you're going to bed at 9:30-ish. That's usually what I try to do. Get in bed, at least try to fall asleep around then. But by about 6:30, quarter to 7, I don't eat anymore. Although what I do, I know that is hard,
Really?
is I take the Greek yogurt, sometimes non-flavored or vanilla, which is good, and I throw in the fresh, right in my blender. I'll throw in pineapples.
Oh, yeah.
I'll throw in blueberries. I'll throw in bananas. And I'll ask everybody, do you want some? And then what I always do, and this is a great trick to try, kale, spinach, all that stuff. I'm telling you, you don't taste it. You don't see it, and everybody's like, ugh. It's so good for you because you're throwing those vitamins. Again, something new.
Oh, yeah.
Try it.
We just did tacos the other night when we had my sister-in-law and niece and nephew first came.
Sure.
They had been on vacation, so we hadn't seen them in a couple weeks. So we did tacos, and I don't tell the kids. Of course, I have regular shredded like iceberg lettuce, but I also have spinach and kale.
Awesome.
Dice it up small. They
Yep.
don't even know. It's just mixed in, and they eat it. They love it, and it's good for that. It's still just as crunchy and refreshing as regular iceberg lettuce, and it's so good for them. We do that. So I'm curious, how could you? So you said you make that for yourself a lot, right?
All the time.
I'm trying to think of how we could do something different. Try
Well,
something different that would
I would
incorporate
s-
that.
Well, I would say for folks that are out there that normally eat ice cream or garbage
Absolutely.
food at night, try this because you'd be pleasantly surprised because there's a lot of those shops out there and a lot of those foofy coffee places that
Yeah.
have these smoothies and stuff that are so brutally bad for you between
Oh,
the
absolutely.
carbs and the
Sugar
sugar.
content, crazy.
This is at least pure, or at least as
Well, it's-
good as it could be. Add honey to it.
It probably really does kick a sweet tooth too. That's why people want. That's typically why you want.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to try next week? My challenge will be I'll bring in. Will you guys be willing to try it if I
Oh,
make
absolutely.
it?
course,
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
course.
I mean,
I
you
love
guys will
fruit. I
love
don't
it.
think there'd be anything in there that I wouldn't eat.
I mean, I throw
I
stuff
like
in there like
that.
massively.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think
Okay,
that's
I'll do
awesome.
that.
Do you have a special like a ninja, thing for
We
it? or
do
you
have the
just-
bullet, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
also have the regular one that I use like for my margaritas as well.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
just saying for those that like to have margaritas.
Like
and
I
by
have.
the way, I'm going to throw this out there. People laugh when I talk about this. If you like to have a cocktail or whatever, they're out there is you can get, for example, the spirits that go along with it. But I use fresh lime. I squeeze
Oh
it.
yeah.
Number two, if I use a sour, I use the light, which has nothing in it.
Yeah.
It has nothing in it. It tastes, I don't want to say tastes bland, but when you squeeze a fresh lime into one of your glasses, you're using the sour, and then you're using a little bit of, whatever else you use, tequila and triple sec, and you do it in a martini shaker, there's hardly any calories in that. I mean, obviously, in everything in
that's nice.
moderation, but I'm throwing that out there. Instead of using, like, someone's going to use a mix that's
Oh,
got
those-
32 grams of sugar.
Well, I mean, those always have so much high fructose corn syrup
Right.
in it as well, and that's terrible for you.
It is.
Exactly.
It's
so
so
I'm saying
bad for
try
you.
it, tweak it a little bit.
Absolutely. I'm all for it. I go for it. You can always throw healthier things in there. That's what's important. You asked about the muffins. If we had, did they taste blueberry? Yeah, we use frozen blueberries. I love frozen
So do
blueberries.
I.
My kids love frozen fruit. And this time of year,
We
people
use it all
don't.
the time.
Yeah.
It's hard to get really flavorful fresh fruit.
You're right.
In the off season, a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy it frozen. It's delicious. It's delicious, and my kids love it. So
Can I tell you what I do for work every day? And in fact, I could go grab some and show you on the visual side of this. I'll take the Greek yogurt during the day, and then before I even go to bed at night, I always make my lunch for the
Oh,
next
yes.
day.
You're
So I'll
so
have like
planned
stuff
out.
in there, like mozzarella, whatever I
Yeah,
have in there,
yum.
string cheese, apples, whatever. I keep my banana out because it gets weird color. You can't put them in the fridge.
I know.
But I'll put the Greek yogurt and I'll throw a whole giant handful of the frozen blueberries. So by
Yeah,
the
that's a good
next
idea.
day, by the next day, like now, if I went in there, the yogurt's blue, it's soft, and it's ready to eat whenever I want it. So if I want to eat it for breakfast, or if I'm, between a break, I got like 6 minutes, I'm going to shovel something into my mouth.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it too. I mean,
You were here
I love it.
yesterday.
I
was
love
running
it.
around. Yeah.
I do. I love it. I had some really interesting music facts before Joan. I think that could be her.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get her. Oh, I
Should I
get
get
them
her?
pulled up. Get her.
Younger Life Live, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Ryan, Beth in studio. The one and only Joan Davis joins us live on radio and on the visual TV. How are you, Joan?
I'm doing great. How's everybody doing this
Good
morning?
morning.
We're
How
all
are
doing
you?
good.
Thanks for joining us.
We are
Oh,
great.
thank you so much for including us.
Well, we were chatting about just universally how we feel that music is so good for the soul. Music is so
Absolutely.
good for folks of all ages. Tell us your thoughts on that, Joan, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, we see a lot of that here. We have students all the way from age 4 to, we had a lady come in. I'm not sure exactly, but I know she's pushing 90. So, and she's a musician, but she always has more that she wants to learn. It's a great way to stay young, to really keep the focus in your mind really good. There's lots of research that says that students who study music and the fine arts in school actually are better students. It's something that's recommended by doctors for those who are older to help keep their mind sharp as well as physically. I've had older students come in who, for one reason or another, need some rehabilitation, physically with their hands or their arms, things like that, and the doctors have recommended playing instruments as something that would be beneficial to them. So we see a lot of that. We see, and I agree 1,000%. It's good for you in many, many ways, not just intellectually and physically, but there's the emotional side of it too. It's something that completely engages you in all aspects of your life, and when you're doing music and it's something you enjoy, you just get completely into it. And there's nothing like that. There just is nothing like that.
Very true.
I think sports is probably the thing that you can closely relate it to.
Very true. I had read it that what I thought, just a cool little point, and we all know this logically, I think, but it's just a cool little point. There isn't a single human culture on earth that has lived without music. It said Native Africans and Americans both used music in the form of chanting for rituals and healing ceremonies. In ancient Greece, music was used to ease stress, which we all know. You think, and just different soothe pain. It also helps with sleeping patterns. It said, you always hear music heals the soul. Well, it actually does on such a huge level, and I just think that is so interesting and something that you sing to baby, you hum to babies. You know what I mean? You've always had music and had a part of it, and who knew that actually trying to pick up an instrument and learn something is so good for the brain? It activates parts of the brain no matter what age you are.
And if you look at some of the studies to tie into that too, Joan Davis with Roxy Music in LaPorte, Indiana, with us on the air and of course on your visual as well. It reduces blood pressure in situations and it just stimulates. And there's a real good tie-in and twist to Mark Knopfler with Dire Straits, the Brothers in Arms release. They use that as a focus, and what the Money for Nothing track or just whatever it might be, but what a great tie-in. Talk to me, Joan, a little bit about some of the things that you guys, because I know you work with one of the great partners in the area of LaPorte County is IU Health LaPorte Hospital, and you guys do stuff all over the community, but let's talk about some of the ways that you guys use music to help those that may need help.
Well, and we go to the 6th floor of IU Health LaPorte Hospital, which is the Miller's Mary Manor area, which is the nursing home rehab floor, the 5th and 6th floor up there. And we go up there once a month. They have music every Monday night there, and it's used as therapy, as entertainment, as socialization. All of those things
so cool.
Are good for those people. They need stimulation. We go to a lot of assisted living places around here, like we've been to Brentwood and Rittenhouse and places like that, where it really helps stimulate these people and it also is a social factor. It's great for the students. It gives them a chance to perform. It also gives them a chance to socialize and be around all of these people too. So it works in many different ways. It's not just the music part of it, but it's the being around other people.
Well, I love that you point that out.
And we have a lot of fun there. There's lots of back and forth. We talk about the songs and what we know about them, about learning them sometimes, and the audience members. They're wonderful about responding to us, about talking to us about how they felt about the music they played, that we played for them. what they want to hear. We try to find music that they know and relate to, so that that becomes even more of a stimulation to them.
Yeah.
We really have a good time there, and we do that once a month, and we'll be there this coming Monday. That's at
so
7
neat.
o'clock on Monday nights. We do that for them once a month.
I love that you point out the elderly, because many studies have shown it, and we just were talking about babies, but music education at an early age, we know that it helps to improve the visual stimulation and verbal skills. But what I love is when you bring up the elderly, there is research has proven that it helps to keep an aging brain healthy. And I love that you say that, listening or playing music at an old age can keep the brain healthy as the brain ages. And it's like exercise for the brain. This one study actually proved it helps keep mental sharpness, which, some people, especially in an assisted living situation, they're not ill typically. They're just aging, and they may need just direction or need someone there in case of the event of being hurt. Those people are still very mentally sharp, and I think that that's a fantastic way for them to be able to do that. And absolutely, with the social aspect, everyone needs that. We're social by nature.
I want to throw this out there too, to tie into this with Joan Davis here on the air with us. Promotes post-stroke recovery. This is a really cool tie-in. And I'm just going to read this. This blows me away, but I believe it wholeheartedly. A daily portion of one's favorite pop melodies, classical music, or jazz can help speed recovery from debilitating strokes, according to the latest research out there. When stroke patients in Finland listen to music for a couple of hours each day, verbal memory and attention span improve significantly compared to patients who actually receive no musical stimulation. And I'm just going to throw that out there because I love what Roxy Music brings to the table.
Absolutely.
I think it's great.
Absolutely. I think it's so important. It's not just, hey, if you need, help pick out an instrument, which you guys are fantastic at that. I myself have been and got one of my daughters when she turned 5 got a guitar from you guys, and did lessons for a while too. So I think that you guys are great at that. But what is so cool is music does ultimately make you happier, no matter what you like. Everybody likes something. It does certainly. The range is so broad. Another fact that I thought was really cool is, when you listen to music that you love, your body actually releases, your brain releases dopamine, which is known, as the feel-good chemical. One study said that, it can actually give you a little burst of happiness, the same that you would get from eating a piece of chocolate, having sex, or having drugs.
Yeah.
That's literally what it says. I know that's crazy.
Look at Joan over there. Woo!
Look, we're blushing, but still, I think that's, I think it's such a great point, and I love that you guys do that. I think that's such great work, and I don't think people are aware you do that as much, and I think that's fantastic.
Joan, can I ask you a quick question when it comes to, let's say the different age groups? Do you see that at different times of the year? You and I had chatted offline about certain times of the year you see different age groups coming back into the forefront. For example, those that may have picked up a guitar 20 years ago and maybe they're retired now, whatever. Talk to me a little bit about the age and stuff like that about people.
Yeah, we see this all the time. When I was a kid, I learned to play guitar, and I never really pursued it. And now I wish I had, and I want to come back, and I want to learn. I never got very good at it. Oh boy, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that story.
Yeah.
And that's why I encourage parents to stick with their kids. I was one of those students that music is like work. It's like playing sports too. You have to practice to be good at it. You can't shoot a basket if you don't practice.
That's right.
Shooting baskets.
Good point.
It's the same way with playing an instrument. You can't do it if you don't practice at it. You just don't get any better. And a lot of kids don't care for the work end of it, quote unquote.
Right.
And I encourage
Very
parents that, do you have to stay on them to brush their teeth and make their bed and do all those other things? This is a habit that you're building, and you have to encourage them. My mom and I used to argue about me practicing because I didn't like the work end of it. And she'd say, someday you'll thank me. Yeah. And I do all the time.
Very good.
Because
Very good point.
she made me stick in there and keep at it. And a lot of parents get discouraged because they have to keep encouraging their kids and keep, helping with the practice schedule and all of that. But it's the very unusual child that doesn't practice on their own. And in the wintertime, we see a lot more students because there's less physical
Yeah. That's
a good
activities
point.
True.
going on,
Mhm.
less sports, that kind of thing. We really see an uptick in adults this time of year, because especially retired adults, because they're looking for something to do with their time. And this is a great time to come and, brush back up on the things that you knew, that you thought you forgot. A lot of people are really amazed at how much they actually do remember, because there's a physical memory involved with music as well as your mental memory. Remembering where things are and what they, how to do stuff. It does come back to you. It's like riding a bicycle, as they say. You don't totally forget it. If you actually learned it at one point, you never completely forget it. So we have a lot of people who come back to do stuff that they learned and they gave up, and now they're like, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that.
You're
It's
awesome.
great.
Very good.
Roxy Music has got such a plethora of great instruments, the best
Oh,
amount of sheet
absolutely.
music anywhere.
Yes.
And they're just so involved with our community on so many levels. Just a great team of folks, Bill and Reed, and of course Joan and the entire crew there. What are your hours, if you wouldn't mind me asking, over at Roxy Music?
Oh, sure, of course. We're open from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and of course that's because we're giving lessons in the afternoons and evenings. And then we're open also on Saturdays from 9 until 4:30, and we're closed on Sundays because we want everybody to go to church.
Right.
I'm with you on that. I'm all about that Big G. Like Roxy Music on Facebook, Roxy Music out of LaPorte, Indiana. They've got some great coupons on there, which we share as well on our Facebook pages, and I think it's dynamite. So you're never too old, is what you're saying, to take lessons, right? It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter.
Absolutely. I have several, I personally have several adults that I teach that are, most of them are beginners. Some of them have played other instruments in the past. I'm a piano teacher, so they're taking piano now. I have very young students that are, I have a kindergartner who's doing very well.
Aw.
So it's all about, wanting to do it. That's really all it really takes, is to have the desire to put in the time.
Fantastic.
We have a lot of adult students here. I was going to try to take a count, but I would guess at any one time we probably have at least 2 to 3 dozen adult students here at the store every week, at the very least.
Absolutely phenomenal. We've got about a minute left of the show, Joan. We love having
Thank
you
you so
on.
much for
any,
calling in.
Any final thoughts you want to throw out there for a couple
I just
seconds?
want to remind everybody that to start lessons at Roxy Music, we do have our great coupon deal. If you buy at least 2 lessons, you're going to get 2 lessons free as a new student, because we want you to encourage you to try to learn to play an instrument,
Try
because it really
something
is
new.
a wonderful thing. We've got some
great.
new classes starting, songwriting. We've got a School of Rocks class that we're putting together that's going to really take off, I think. We've got some new young teachers we're very excited about. And I have lots of stuff to tell you about, and I'm going to call again on Friday so we can talk a lot more about all that great
Love
stuff.
you, Joan.
Thanks, Joan. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Joan.
Thank you guys. This was great. Appreciate
You're
it
awesome.
very much.
A
Have a
different
great
spin
day.
on music. Isn't that great?
Absolutely. And all of the
Seriously.
things that we just talked about, all of those good things, please get out and do something new. Anything, try it. Give
All
them
right.
a call, try it, pick something up.
Let's say goodbye. Another great segment of Younger Life Live.
Thank you.
Ryan, Beth, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici. We'll see you again soon here on Younger Life Live. Another great installment, 9 to 10 weekdays right here on WIMS, the radio flagship station. Have a great day.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.
CBS News, I'm Steve Kaif, and it's been a day of wild weather in the east.